Hello, this is Thales speaking, and you're watching my channel about English language with contents ranging from basic to advanced, and we talk about vocabulary, business English, English grammar, and various different topics, right? This video, we will talk about a report I took from CNN Health, okay? And it's a guided reading in which we discuss a topic and explore vocabulary, words that eventually I don't know. I look it up on the internet, the meaning, and I share my impressions of the article online, right? I'm reading this article, right? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and of course, give a huge thumbs up if you enjoy the contents from my video. Okay, so we will explore this article from CNN Health. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know the content of the article. Let me just adjust here. I think it's better if I did this. Jesus Christ, advertisements popping up. Okay, so the content of the article is perfecting the calories in, calories out strategy to get fit. So what does it mean to perfect? Perfecting, it means to make something perfect. If you are perfecting something, it means that you are doing your best in order to take the best strategy. Calories in, calories out, you know what it means, right? How do you take calories in? To eat something. When you eat or drink something, you take calories in. And calories out, either when you burn calories, right? You can burn calories by working out, physical exercises, and your everyday activities demand calories, right? Even thinking requires some calories as well. Okay, so we will explore about this strategy to get fit, right? To have a healthy body and how to perfect it. So as I mentioned, I haven't read the article yet. This article was released on March 25th, right? So 2 days ago. Okay, let's see this. Here it says that focus on staying active and varying your exercise moves rather than counting calories, which can be difficult to track, according to experts. Okay, so we must focus on staying active, doing something, and varying your exercise moves, right? Running, going to the gym. So it's better to do this, to focus on staying active instead of counting calories. I know many people who count calories. When people are on a diet, for example, people tend to count calories. What about you? Do you count your calories? Do you focus on staying active, or you don't bother? What's your opinion about it? I try to stay active. I have a personal training, so I have sessions, right? Training sessions every day. But of course, sometimes it makes more difficult because the calories the calories part is important, but I don't count my calories. And sometimes I eat things that aren't necessarily healthy. Okay, let's read the first paragraph and then we will comment. 45% of the world's population is trying to shed a few pounds, according to a 2020 Ipsos poll. And they prefer to do it by exercising more and eating better, not by dieting. Okay, so let's understand. 45% of the world's population is trying to shed a few pounds. It means they are trying to lose some weight. 45%. It's a considerable part of the population. A poll is a public, how can I say? It's when you ask people, when you interview people about something. So that if there is a poll, for example, an election poll, they will try to figure out who is going to win the election. So they want to know who you will vote for. So here, this poll, if you click on the link, you will go straight to the ipsos.com website and you will know more about the poll. They prefer to do it by exercising more. Okay, exercise more and eating better. Yeah, people say that if you exercise but you don't change your diet, it makes the situation more difficult. You have to eat better. So changing your behavior. What do you think, in your opinion? I want to know, I want you to think about it and answer the question in your mind, because we are focusing on English. We want to give you conditions, to give you tools to discuss a topic, to improve your vocabulary. Do you agree with this statement, exercising more and eating better? If so, tell me, do you exercise more today than last year? Do you have any strategy? How healthy is your diet? You have to eat better, right? What it means, do you know what it means to eat better? For example, eating more vegetables, to have a more colorful dish, avoiding eat fat, sugar, stuff like that. That's essentially the well-known calories in, calories out method, where you try to burn more calories than you take in. I know this strategy. Some people, they count the calories they have during the day, and they try to burn more calories. They focus on having exercises that will allow this person to burn more than they take. I've read some articles some time ago in which they say that in order to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you take, right? It's math, it's simple. The calories you take must be lower than the calories you burn. There is just one problem. Nailing down your calorie burn is harder than you may think. Yeah. Calorie burn is not very easy. And it depends on the person as well. Some people, they have more ease to burn calories than others. The number of calories a person burns doing a particular exercise or movement depends on various factors, including height and weight, sex, and muscle mass. But even your health and the weather can affect the number of calories you burn performing a certain exercise. So this paragraph says that you can't say, this exercise you will burn 500 calories. Not necessarily, it will depend on various factors. How tall you are, how heavy you are, if you're a man or a woman, and the muscle mass you have or you don't have. You work harder running 6 miles, 9.7 kilometers in 80 27 degrees Celsius heat and high humidity than when it's 50 degrees, 10 degrees Celsius and dry, said Dr. Keith Anderson, a family and sports medicine doctor with Novant Health in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, so here it says that when you run almost 10 kilometers, which equals 6 miles, you know, in the US, the measure of distance is different. In Brazil, we use kilometers, depending on where you search. Kilometers, I've heard both pronunciations. When you run this distance, and when it's hot, for example, 25 degrees, here in Rio de Janeiro, 25 degrees Celsius is cold, right? Because when it's really hot here, we have temperatures that go over 40 degrees Celsius. 80 degree here, it must be Fahrenheit, okay? So you must convert Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. You know, I think my mind is set in degrees Celsius and kilometers. When you say 6 miles, I don't have the exact notion of how far this is, right? When I see people you have to walk 6 miles to reach this location. I know it's not very close because 6 miles, I know that it's more than 6 kilometers, but I don't know exactly how far that is. And the same applies to degrees. Fahrenheit, I don't know how to I don't know the formula to convert. You can easily find in the internet. That's not the thing. The thing is, when I see 80 degrees Fahrenheit, I can't figure out in my mind whether it's very hot or not. Anyway. When you run under these conditions, it's hot weather, you have a hot weather, and high humidity, you work harder, right? It means that probably when you work harder, when your body makes more effort, most likely, you will burn more calories. Then when it's 50 degrees, here it's cold, okay? And dry. Dry, it's the opposite of high humidity, right? High humidity and dry are opposites. Your body also works hard if you're fighting off a cold. Okay, so here you have an infection or when you have a cold, or if you didn't sleep well the night before. So when you sleep less, your body also works harder. So there is so much combined into metabolism. So you see, it's more complex than we think, right? To know whether you will make an extra effort to track how many calories you have burned. In addition, calorie tracking devices such as fitness watches aren't always accurate. Do you have a fitness watch? Many people have. They track the kilometers, how many kilometers they have run, and it's also useful to have an idea of how many calories you are burning by doing that kind of exercise. But you know, it's not very accurate. It's not. While 7 wrist-worn devices adequately measured heart rate in subjects who were walking, running, and cycling, none accurately measured energy expenditure, according to one study published in the Journal of Personalized Medicine. Okay, so here they tested wrist-worn devices. You know wrist? It's when you use this. This is the wrist, okay? Like right here, a wrist. You wear a watch around your wrist. So wrist-worn devices, like watches, okay? Okay, so 7 wrist-worn devices, they measured heart rate in an accurate manner, but regarding energy expenditure, or how many calories you are burning or spending, none of these devices accurately measures how much energy you have burned. The most accurate device was off by nearly 25%. Wow, so that's the actual deviation. 25% off, while the least accurate was off by 93%. Oh wow, that's a lot. So I believe this is acceptable to have a deviation, right, from the real expenditure, but this one, it's way off, right? It's completely inaccurate. Exercise equipment isn't always reliable. So when you say something is not reliable, it means that you can't trust what this equipment is showing you. When I don't rely a lot on equipment data, and I don't wear any type of devices when having exercises. What about you? When you go to work, when you go working out, when you go to work out or run or have some type of exercise, do you wear a wrist-worn device like a watch, for example? And there are some equipments when you go to the gym, for example, you have bikes, you have machines which show how many calories you are burning, how far you have run, and some of them even take your heartbeat, right? They try to show you as much information as possible. Similarly, the calorie counters on exercise equipment such as treadmills, stationary bikes, and elliptical machines are unreliable too. So what it's saying here is that these kind of things that you can find when you go to the gym, treadmills, stationary bikes, elliptical machines, they are not reliable either. They are unreliable, not reliable. Ellipticals in particular are especially poor at gauging your calorie burn accurately. So ellipticals, they are not efficient. They can't show accurately how much calories you have burned. These machines tend to overestimate your caloric expenditure significantly, as shown in a 2018 study published in the journal Exercise Medicine. So, when you have exercises in an elliptical machine, you have the impression that you are burning a lot of calories. But that's not true. They overestimate. What does it mean? When you overestimate your caloric expenditure, it says that you spend much less or less calories than you think you have spent, right? In the study, these machines said participants were burning 200 more calories per hour than they actually were when exercising at a moderate intensity. So perhaps these machines, they have the motivational factor, right? They say that you are burning a lot of calories, so you keep yourself motivated to have more exercises, or the opposite. They may have the opposite effect. That you think, I've had enough for today, so I will stop exercising for now. You can't really rely on these exercise machines, said registered dietitian, right, and nutritionist Kat Barrowfield, a nutrition master trainer with the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So this woman, I believe it's a woman, right? This woman said that you can't really rely on these exercise machines. Okay, so what is she saying? You can't rely on how data is given to you. Of course, having exercises on these machines will help you work out, will help you burn calories, but you must have extra attention to the information it displays, that the results won't be accurate. Even if you get into an exercise physiologist lab and get hooked up to sophisticated equipment, the results won't be totally accurate. So the problem with we don't have technology which give a total accurate information. Even going to a lab and get hooked to a sophisticated equipment which is dedicated to that kind of information, probably you won't have an accurate result. But if people don't know how many calories they are burning during a particular workout, how can they come up with a solid fitness plan? So that's the question. If you don't know how many calories you are burning, how will you know if the training is efficient or not? Opt for full body workouts, Anderson said, as they torch the most calories. So the workouts that explore full body, they are the best, right? I'm training for the Ironman World Championships right now, and I absolutely burn more calories swimming and running than cycling. You know, why is that? When you swim, when you run, you have a full body workout. And when you cycle, on the other hand, for example, your arms, they remain stationary. You don't make a lot of effort in your arms, but your legs, they get exercises. But when you have a full body workout, it's a better fitness plan when you opt for full body workouts. Other solid options, Anderson said, are Pilates and high-intensity interval training, also known as HIIT workouts. Okay, so when you take high-intensity training, you most likely you will burn more calories. The more movement you can involve, the better. Bearfield said, noting you can use trekking poles when going out for a walk or hike to burn a few more calories. So even when you go hiking, you can use some trekking poles and burn a few more calories. Listening to music also helps, according to this article. Even listening to music can help, because when you listen to music, at least I feel more motivated. Imagine running, listening to a high beat music, right? High beat song. It's much better than rather than you focus on the rhythm of the music of the song you're listening to, and you tend, at least I think, to try to mimic the motions, right? You try to follow the rhythm with the movements of your body, at least I think so. So music will give you more energy to move at more intense speeds, she said. Okay, so here we have a picture. A full body workout like running or swimming burns the most calories. A jogger runs up Primrose Hill in London. So this guy is jogging. He is a jogger, a guy who runs or jogs, go jogging or runs on February 17th. Okay. Neat ways to get fit. Neat, organized, efficient ways. Some people prefer to focus on the calories in part of the equation. It means that some people, they focus on how much food, what they eat, right? I will opt to eat less caloric food. I will eat more vegetables. Okay, that's important. The calorie counts for various food items tend to be fairly similar, no matter where you check. Few will dispute, for example, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's assertion that one medium-sized apple contains about 100 calories, depending upon the apple variety and the exact size. Okay, so you know an average apple, how if you search, for example, when you buy something to eat and you Google it, you want to know how many calories this food has or this drink has, you have a fair idea, an average of how many calories that represent. But of course that's not always accurate, you know. The Food and Drug Administration requires most prepared food and the standard items in certain chain restaurants to disclose the number of calories they contain. But Anderson said counting calories can be problematic too. Okay, so you have an idea of how many calories that food has or that drink has, but that's not the whole equation, right? I don't know many patients who can accurately calculate their calorie intake. So it's more complicated to count. And let's understand. It says, I said, they may look up on the internet that a PBJ is X calories, okay. But exactly how much peanut butter are they putting on their sandwich? Are they eating the crust? It all comes down to estimates. So it's more complicated to have an estimate of how many calories you have. Here we have a related article. You can click and read. As I say in every video, I will put the link, right? Look at the description of the video. I will put the link so you can read the whole article. I won't read everything. Maybe, yeah, it's almost over. Some articles, they are too big, too lengthy to read, and it's complicated. But anyway, we are seeing here and we are thinking about many topics in English, and it's important for you to read in English, to think in English, and try to answer questions to yourself, either by reading it out loud, which will help you improve your English. It helps me, as I don't have many people or no one to talk to in English. Okay, I will read just this paragraph, okay, and we will finish this video. Bearfield doesn't typically have her clients count calories either. Instead, she urges them to mix up their activities. So what the person does is more important. Right. The more you perform one exercise, cycling for example, the more efficient your body will become at that task. It's as if your body gets used to that effort, that pattern of that exercise you are taking. It's like an specialization, right? You're specialized in something. And the more efficient your body becomes, the fewer calories it burns. So it becomes a problem. When your body gets used to one type of exercise, you will burn less calories. So Bearfield recommends to mix up activities, right? To have more variety. So doing a few different forms of exercise each week helps. So that's her recommendation. All right, that's my video for today. Don't forget that we have the guided reading in Portuguese, as with explanations in Portuguese. The guided reading in Portuguese focuses and explores grammar and vocabulary as well. And this one explores more ideas, because I think that people who watch my full English videos, they already have an understanding of spoken English. They have a more advanced language comprehension, and it helps them. At least I hope it helps you think about many different topics. I explore fitness, I explore health, I explore business, and I make some comments and ask questions to help you think about it, right? Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's video. See you next time.